congratulating Pineview's class of 2022 because we made it. The families, teachers, and staff who got us here, thank you for your help. Our first year as high schoolers ended just like our last. We were in the center of campus, rallying together for a cause we believed in. Our voices were heard, and they were clear. Pitbull, please come and perform in our school gym. We advocated for weeks. We filmed videos of local leaders calling our community to action. We created and shared the hashtag Pitbull to Pineview, and we started a letter-writing campaign to our local candidates and requested that we ask Pitbull to come and perform in our school and grace us with his presence. His manager ended up requesting that we leave him alone or pay his booking fee, which I confirmed that it cannot be paid at 1,400 units, but we tried. Ultimately, Mr. Worldwide did not get to experience the glory of performing in a PE space that doubles as a testing center. But this movement united us and reminded me that we as a class and generation will come together for things that matter. Over the last few years, fewer and fewer happy moments have brought us together. Our sophomore year, as we were being pulled apart by an emerging pandemic, we united in response to anti-Black violence. Many of us joined hands outside the courthouse downtown as we begged our government for justice. We begged new questions of ourselves and of others, knowing that the answers would not end but begin conversation. We criticized our previous criticisms and allowed ourselves to become uncomfortable with our perspectives because for many of us, they were never as grounded as we had hoped. We were 15, by the way. And while we were doing that, the cast of Mamma Mia lost their ability to perform for an audience. The debate Monument teams began giving speeches behind kitchen counters and not podiums. Science Olympiad could not travel to regionals, and soccer club had to cancel games, bringing us from a high school with one sport to zero. All of the things that 15-year-old children should come together for were gone. Our junior year, we united outside Bayfront Park to generate awareness for the climate crisis. With masks collecting spit from our screens, we stood in defense of our home, and again, we begged our government for justice. We also had to study for the SAT that weekend, because as the future of our society was becoming more uncertain than ever, we were expected to be prepared perfectly for our moment. We had finals and research papers and PowerPoints that could not be salvaged by fancy transitions. As we were being told that no generation has ever had it easier, the technology that made it seem that way was exposing us to a plethora of festering global crises. The digital advance has given us the gift of Applebee's whenever, wherever, but it has also given us the burden of awareness. We are children, but we are children with the knowledge that our everyday lives are being lived in a state of emergency. Hear me, we live in a state of emergency. We cannot allow the degradation of our communities, environments, and constitution to become socially acceptable just because we're witnessing these attacks daily. That needs to make us more shocked, not less. We need to react more each time, not less. If we let this become everyday life, then it will continue to happen every day. That is why I must discuss a very public part of my identity. This characteristic has probably become the first thing you think of when you think of me as a human being. As you know, I have curly hair. I used to hate my curls. I spent mornings and nights embarrassed at them, trying desperately to straighten this part of who I am. But the daily damage of trying to fix myself became too much to endure. So, while having curly hair in Florida is difficult, due to the humidity, I decided to be proud of who I was and started coming to school as my authentic self. Here, it was Miss Ballard who answered my questions because I didn't have other curly-haired people to talk to. It was Mr. Pauling who read essays about curls costing me an opportunity that I really wanted. It was my friends that told me that curls look good on me and that I should stop hiding them. It was a messy and twisted growth process, but eventually I did. It's because of the love I've drawn from this community that I came out to my family. Now I'm happy. Now I'm happy. And that is what is at stake. There are going to be so many kids with curly hair who need a community like Pineview, and they will not have one. Instead, They'll try to fix themselves so that they can exist in Florida's humid climate. I've been preparing for this speech since I was elected my freshman year. Do you think that I wanted it to be about this? It needs to be about this for the thousands of curly-haired kids who are going to be forced to speak like this for their entire lives as students. Because my principal has always loved my curls and me. Those who we've given our power to are the reason that I have to stand here and talk about my hair during my graduation speech. If that represents you, congratulations, but if it does not, then you must claim your power and you must give it to those who will protect us. I told you that during our sophomore and junior years we begged our government for justice, but that was a mistake. We let them use our power in a way that made us forget that it is ours. There is nobody to beg but ourselves. Justice and injustice exist under our authority. It is not fair that the second we turn 18, we have this responsibility, but we do. And now that it's ours, we must use our shared power because it was all the people who didn't use it that let this happen to all the people who couldn't. When you waste your power, what you're really doing is giving it to whoever has the most already. And right now, those with the most power are coming for those with the least. We should not have to deal with this, but we're ready. I've seen what this community can overcome when we come together. I've seen what we can do. We might not be able to create a Pitbull concert in our gym, but we can easily save the world. Thank you.